Hey guys, welcome to Chem 143, summer 2020. This is Dr. Cadell, and this little video hopefully explains how the course is going to work, it being online entirely this summer. So first thing is it's run through Canvas. So log on to Canvas and you should see this course. Once you log into this course, you should see the home page that looks something like, well, a lot like this. So this is where it's centered. Everything you can pretty much get to through here. Some important links over here on the left are discussions, grades. This is the module section. So I'm going to go through the syllabus with you guys first, get the details out of the way. We'll come back here, look at what the discussions and grades are for and where everything is. So first of all, click on the syllabus. Click again, and it's always there. So you always have, the syllabus right there for you. So this is the course. Because of COVID-19, everything's online. So there are 4 sections of you guys this summer that are taking Chem 143 with me. And these are your sections right here. I'll come back to this when I talk about exams. The textbook. So there is no required textbook. Everything that you need is online, accessible through Canvas. If you do, some people do want to use a textbook as a supplement. This one here, it's the one that I sort of based the course on a while ago, but really any textbook that's at what they call GOB level, introductory chemistry level, will work fine. I'll tell you why in a minute. Oh yeah, extra credit. There is none, so please do not ask. So this is, being online, there's a couple of different requirements. The exams, you have an exam almost every week once we get started taking the exams. The exams are multiple choice. They're run through Canvas and they are monitored by Proctorio. What Proctorio does, it's not a person, it's AI, artificial intelligence, that monitors you taking the exam. You will need a working webcam and a working microphone. These are requirements for the course. Reliable internet access, that means at least 0.244 megabits per second upload speed, 250 megabytes of free disk space, at least 2 gigabytes of free RAM. You're going to want to find the computer that you're going to use for this course and check and make sure you have that much free RAM. Just because you have that much RAM physically in the machine doesn't mean it's that much is free. Pentium or better processor, which is pretty much everything. Any of these operating systems are fine. If it's Windows 7 Plus, Mac, it's OS 10.11 or higher. Linux, Ubuntu 18.04 or higher. Chrome 58 or higher. This is how the grading is set out for the course, guys. There are 11 midterms, and I have Canvas set up to automatically drop your lowest exam. So that means of your 10 top exams, that's where 70% of the grade in this class comes from. Works out to 7% each. I'll talk about the exams in a bit. There's these online quizzes, which I also will show you guys. They're worth a total of 5%, and I have Canvas set up to automatically drop your 5 lowest scores there. There is a final exam. I'll talk about that. It's comprehensive. It's worth 10%. And the lab is worth 15%. And I will explain how that works too in just a few minutes. So this is the grade. The thing to notice is that for a C is 60 to 79%. Anywhere in there is a C. Everything else is pretty traditional, I think. This is important for you guys right here. You have to, there are, I think, 6 labs scheduled for the summer. You have to submit all of those. If you don't, then you get an F for the course. Attendance. So, attendance, it's online, right? But I will have available for you guys once class starts, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending what section you're on, a practice quiz, Proctorio practice quiz. It's basically 3 questions, asks, what course is this, stuff like that. But what it does for you guys, is it lets you make sure that your computer is set up properly to use Proctorio, because you'll need to use that for every exam. Anybody who does not take that quiz within the first week of class will be dropped as a no-show. If you do add the course after the course starts, then you have to use the add code within 24 hours, and once you add, you have 3 days after that to take the Proctorio practice exam. Otherwise, you'll be dropped as a no-show. If you do not take an exam without notifying me, you can be dropped from the course too. So, academic dishonesty. So it's slightly different with this new way of doing stuff. But we are aware of sites like Chegg, Course Hero, and those other ones that we know students sometimes use to cheat on exams. So we monitor those, and if we catch you using those for an exam, there will be an academic dishonesty report attached to your school records, and you'll get a 0 for whatever assignment you're doing that on. If you use DSPS, then it's not a problem, but you should let me know as soon as possible. And what that means is you'll start your exam early so that you end your exam at the same time as everybody else. For example, if you get double time, an exam's 30 minutes, and let's say it starts for everybody at 11 and ends at 11:30, in order to get your full time, you'll have to start at 10:30. It'll be online through Proctorio and all that. No makeup exams. If you miss an exam, that's a 0, but I do drop the lowest. I think I talked about all this. It's the time. These exams are timed. They're 30 minutes. Oh, the final's different, but I'll talk about that. They're 30 minutes, so you want to make sure you're logged on ahead of time, guys. Make sure you're logged on, have Proctorio set up, ready to go before the exam starts, so you have your full time. Now the labs. I'm going to show you this too, guys. We're kind of doing the best we can here. This is not a good substitute for actually doing the labs, which, by the way, I think they're the most fun part of this course, really, is doing the labs, physically. But what I'm going to do this summer is each of the labs, the experiments that you guys do, I will make a video of me performing the experiment and explaining what's going on. So what you do is you watch that video first, and I will send out individual data. Well, I'll put a file that has everybody's data on it. Everybody has different numbers, and you'll use that data as if you had gotten it when you were doing the experiment, like I did, to fill out your lab report, which I'll show you how to do. Now I'm in the process of making these videos. They're so I have the first one done for the first experiment. And as we go through, I'll get them done before you have to do the experiment. I'll show you the schedule in just a minute. The rest of this, you guys, I'm not going to go through it with you, but I recommend if you get a chance, read what I've written about success in chemistry. It comes from a Time magazine article that I read a few years ago about how to become an expert at anything, which is, if you think about it, really what you guys want to do. For this summer anyway, you want to be an expert at Chem 143. So I recommend that to you, just when you get time. All right, so that's the syllabus. Always there for you. It has the finals, final day and time and all that. So let's look at the schedule, and then we'll come back and look at when it's given. So the schedule's here. This is how you guys know, what we're doing. Also, the due dates are in Canvas also. So this is these 2 dates, guys. The first one is if you're in a Tuesday section. The second one is if you're in a Wednesday section. So we don't have any exams or labs scheduled the first week, but you definitely should get started on this stuff as soon as you can. The second week, no exam yet. Give you guys a chance to kind of get going. And the first lab, you'll start. I give 2 weeks for each lab. And so what I suggest is you watch the videos, look at your data, and you can ask me questions about it, because you're going to have questions. Listen to this, guys. Let me give you a hint. Check your significant figures every time you do a lab report, because that is by far, you guys, where people lose the most points on their lab reports, and I always check for that. So anyway, you know, and then from there, after we hit that, we pretty much have an exam every week. Each exam, guys, it's like one chapter or one module. I'll show you where you get the information from. I'll do the exams, the details of those in a minute, all the way through, and then our final exam, which is comprehensive. So that's the schedule. It's always there for you. If you need it, you will need it. So let's go back and look at when the exams are, because this is going to be important for you. You'll log on to Canvas, and it depends on which section you're in. So if you're in section 4621, which is the Tuesday section that's on PiratesNet, starts at 8, that exam will be at 11 o'clock to 11:30. Every Tuesday where there's an exam scheduled, which is every Tuesday after the first 2 weeks. So that's when the exam is. Make sure you're logged on, ready to go. If you're in the afternoon section on Tuesdays, your exam starts at 12, goes to 12:30. If you're Wednesday morning, 11 to 11:30. Wednesday afternoon, 12 to 12:30. The final exam, again, it's by section. If you're on the Tuesday morning, it's 10:15 to 11:25. Tuesday afternoon, 12 to 1:10. Wednesday morning, 10:15 to 11:25. And Wednesday afternoon, 12 to 1:10. 70 minutes for the final. Okay, so that's when the exams are. They're on Canvas here. So let's see. Let's look at. Okay, let's go down here and start looking at these modules. In Canvas here, each of these sections is a module. The first one's, it's administrative, information for you, stuff like that. Next one has labs in it, which I'll come back to in a minute. But after that, each of these sections, guys, is like a chapter in a textbook. And so if you noticed, our first exam, which is the third week of school, is on the chapter Numbers and Measurements. So the way that you guys get the information, okay, your lectures are online here, and each of these links, see it says significant figures right there? That's the link. If you click on that and open it to a YouTube video of me giving you the lecture.
So in this video,
I will not watch that. So you'll notice this one's about 7 minutes. I try to keep them all under 10 minutes, just on one little topic at a time. So this, guys, this is your lecture. So what that means is take notes, okay? You should get really good notes. If there's anything that you guys do not understand when you're watching those videos, ask me. I'll show you how you can get a hold of me. But make a note and ask me, and I will be glad, I'll be happy to help you figure that out. That's going to be one of the things that you can really do to help yourself in this course. The other thing is homework, which we will show you in just a moment. So the idea, though, after you watch that video, right beneath it for almost all of these, there's a link with the same name. That link is a quiz. It's a one-question, multiple-choice quiz that you have 2 attempts on. So I'll show you the first quiz right here. So if you click Take the Quiz, you're ready to go. There's quiz, 1 question. So this information, it was somewhere in that video you just watched. So apply that information, pick an answer. I'll not answer it. When you're done, click Submit Quiz. Let's say you get it wrong the first time. Then go back, and these are not meant to be closed book quizzes or anything like that. The exams are a different story. But if you miss that question, ask anybody. Ask me. I'll help you. Look back in your notes. Look in a textbook if you have it. Talk to people. Anything, right? But figure it out. Okay. My suggestion is do not succumb to the temptation to immediately go back and say, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it this time. Because if you miss it 2 times, you miss the points for the quiz, period. Okay. But the idea is everybody should get all the points for the quizzes. All right, so watch the video, take notes, take the quiz, watch the video, take notes, take the quiz. This one's through 2 quizzes. And go all the way through, guys. Work your way down through that module. And then your idea is, okay, not to wait till the night before the test to do this, because there's a lot more work to do before you are ready for the exam. And most of that is right here in the homework. Homework, you do not turn in, okay? It is for you to study for the exam. What it is this PDF file that has questions, and I have the answer in parentheses after each question. So do these problems. If you don't get the same answer as I do, you really need to figure out why. Ask me, I'll help you. talk to each other, whatever it takes. Now, it's really important that you work through all these problems, and any one of these problems that you guys are not sure about it at all. You need to figure that out, because the exams come right from those homework problems. Now, they're not the same questions, different numbers, slightly different wording, but if they're worked out the same way. Okay. So let's go back here. So the idea is we go through each module, okay, get it done. You want to get to that homework, you guys, as soon as you can, and work through that multiple times. That's the way to do well in this course, is to really get into those homework problems. Once you get through those, that's how you study for the exam. All right, so we went through the first module, ready for the first exam. Okay, make sure you're logged on to Canvas, ahead of time. Everything's set up. Take the exam. Now, the first exam, it's just on numbers and measurements, that module. Every exam after that will have 1 or 2 questions from previous modules. So our second exam is on the matter and energy module. So this is the material, there's the homework. That will have, this will probably have 10 questions, 8 or 9 from this module, 1 or 2 from numbers and measurements. Then the next exam will be on elements in the atom. This one I think has 15 questions. 1 or 2 of those will come from 1 or more of the previous modules, and so on as we go through. Okay, so that's the exams, guys. Let's go back and look at how you can get help, because you're going to run into things that you're not sure about when you're doing these homework problems, because those are so I can't emphasize how important it is for you to really do those homework problems many times, and understand them, not just memorize how to do them. Memorize what you're doing, or understand what you're doing. Discussions. See this link right here? This is going to be really, really important, especially in a course like this. The sooner you guys start using this, better off you're going to be. If you click on that, right now there are no discussions. If you guys have a question on homework or anything else, labs or whatever, click. One way to get help, a really good way, is to click on Add a Discussion, and give it a title. Make sure you're specific with the title. Don't just say homework. And then you can ask it in here. What's really nice about this is this has a couple levels of equation editor for you to use. First of all, it has superscripts and subscripts. Well, if you click this right here, see this square root of x? Okay, that opens up an equation editor, which has all these things up here that will help you. It'll make it so much easier to talk about chemistry. I really recommend you use those. All right. So ask the question, save it, and I'll see it. Everybody in this section will see it, and sometimes people help each other, which is great. Otherwise, I'll answer the question for you. Now, the thing is, sometimes people are a little bit uncomfortable with that because everybody sees that you're asking the question. No problem. Here's another way you guys can get help. See where it says inbox over here? If you click on that, you can send me a message, and I am the only one that'll see that. And if you want to ask a question on the homework that way, just say, hey, can you, I'm trying to do numbers and measurements, problem number 7, and I'm getting stuck at this point. Can you help me out? And say, sure. What I do is I go over and I answer a question on the discussion board without saying who asked it. So that's another way to get help. So I recommend that, don't just struggle out there on your own. Ask questions. That's like really, really important. Okay. So that's the discussions. The grades, this grade book is nice. I don't know if I have any grades in here or not. So it looks like this for you. One of the nice things is that you can use the what if feature. That is, say, what if I got a 95 on the final exam? How will that affect my grade? And it'll give you your total down here. Temporarily, doesn't keep it as a 95, right? That's called the what if feature. So that's really nice. All right, so there's exams, modules, homework. All right, let's go back and talk about the labs a little bit. So this laboratory module is where you get information about the labs. I have the videos for the first experiment up. I'm in the process of making some more. So I broke it up into two parts, parts A and B. So if you click on that, I'm not going to watch it. That's the first part of the tools of the trade experiment. So watch that, take notes, okay? The idea is that you're going to see me doing the experiment. And I'm going to say, okay, so this number goes in A1. What I mean by that is, okay, after those videos, there's two other links for the same lab. One says report, one says procedure. I just put the procedure up there because, this is what you would use if you were actually in the lab doing it. But sometimes it's helpful if you look at that to see, what I was doing, where everything comes from. And it looks like this. Let me just show you. Has a bunch of information in there. Some good information up here about what's going on. Useful to look at. Procedure, which I will do. And then data table. By the way, for this first experiment, you guys are going to need the density of water. This table right here. Anyway, so that's that. But probably more relevant to you guys is the next link, which is the report. If you click on that, okay, so this page right here, this is how you guys submit your lab reports. See this submit assignment button? That's what you click on when you are ready to submit your assignment, ready to go. Here's how you're going to do it. Okay, so you'll have watched the videos, taken some notes, you'll have your data. I'll have posted the data for the experiment, so you'll know all your numbers. When you have those, click on this. Okay. Now, a couple of things. When you're getting ready to do this, what I'd recommend is first print this page and fill it in by hand, because if you navigate away from this page, you're going to lose all your data. So fill it in first, check everything, make sure everything's good to go. Then when you're sure everything's ready, come back and here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your name, not mine, your name, up here. So these are fillable forms, guys. This is a PDF file. Click that and, put all the numbers. The data, this first section, these are numbers that I will give you. You'll have a file that gives you all these numbers. So fill them in here. Important thing is every number that you get in here should have the correct number of significant figures and units. The only thing is with these fillable forms, you can do superscripts and subscripts, but they're kind of not worth doing it. So like, for example, the degree sign, just use an asterisk, good to go. Fill in these. Once you fill in these, that's all information I give you. But after that, there's more. There's calculations. So do those. Watch sig figs. Watch units. Okay, do these. So you'll have done these already. You're just basically filling in the work that you've done. Go all the way through. Okay, there's some more data. I have to change this. More calculations. Watch your sig figs. More calculations. And then when you're done, okay, this is important. Do not navigate away from that page. Once everything's in there, okay, couple things. First, make sure you're using Chrome or Chromium. That's really important. Make sure that the only browser you do this on is either Chrome or Chromium. I've found other browsers are hit and miss. Sometimes what happens is you think you have everything and it just submits it as blank. Next thing is what you're going to do is if you're using Chrome or Chromium, you'll have this little button up here, the printer button. Click on that. And over here where it says, destination, whatever your default printer is, will be there. Click on that and make sure you click Save as PDF. Do that. Okay, and then click Save. And it'll ask you where you want to save it. So save it there. Make sure you remember what folder it goes in. Now you should be it. Before you navigate away from that page, what I recommend is you go to that folder and open up that file and make sure you see all your numbers in there. Now here's what happens sometimes. Sometimes people see like circles instead of the numbers. All that means, bullets. All that means is that you don't have your Adobe, probably is what you use, doesn't have the right font to see those digits. But go ahead and upload the file anyway, which I'll show you in a minute, because I'll be able to see them. I'll see the numbers. Okay, so we're done. Navigate away. Now, you're ready to submit assignment. Click Submit Assignment. Go down here. So now it looks like this, right? Click on Choose File. Go to where you save the file. Report. There it is. Okay. So now it's right here. Click Submit Assignment. It's submitting, and it's done. Submitted. Now, a couple things. If you notice, okay, now this dialog appears. This is important, guys. Click on, as soon as you submit that, click on Submission Details. And then don't click on this. That's on your computer, I think. See where it says View Feedback? Click on that. And then it'll open up exactly what I'm going to see. So make sure that I can see the numbers. Okay. Also, this is important, guys. This is how you will get the feedback. I always give you feedback on all of your lab reports that I grade. This is how you'll see it. So that's that. Those are the labs. The labs have due dates. You can tell here on Canvas, the first one's due May 31st. And that's a Sunday night and midnight, basically. And that's how you're going to do the labs. Now, oh, by the way, this link right here, everything that I just showed you, this is another video of how to turn in your lab report. Same information, so if you forget. Another place that you guys can get help is there's a class called Chem 133. It starts on June 1st. There are still a few spots in it. And what this is, it's basically a class for people to get help in Chem 143. I'll be running it through Zoom, so it'll be an hour a week. And the idea is that that's where you can come to ask your questions and get real-time answers to them. I found it to be a pretty valuable course for students. So I recommend that you sign up for that. And you know, it's a late start, so it doesn't start till June 1st. So I think you'll have an idea of whether or not you're gonna need it anyway. So that's pretty much how the class works. Good luck, guys, and I'll be seeing you this summer.